Sekali lagi kami ucapkan selamat pagi, selamat datang kepada Bapak Wali Kota Bandung beserta jajarannya yang juga sudah hadir langsung di Gedung Merdeka. Berikut juga kami ingin ucapkan selamat pagi, selamat datang tentunya kepada Ibu Aryatri Farhan sebagai Ketua TP PKK Kota Bandung. We also would like to deliver our warm welcome to the Chief of Family Welfare and Empowerment Mobilizations Team of Bandung or TP PKK Kota Bandung, Mrs. Aryatri Farhan. And also a very warm welcome to the head of the Regional House of Representative of Bandung, the Honorable Mr. Asep Mulyadi. Selamat pagi, selamat datang Bapak beserta Ibu dan juga tamu undangan lainnya. Segera beberapa saat lagi akan segera kita jelang opening ceremony dari salah satu rangkaian Asia Afrika Festival adalah Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Right in a few minutes, Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to join and witnessing the same spirit that was happened in this building, Merdeka Building or Gedung Merdeka 70 years ago. Different persons, different participants, but the same spirit and energy to speak about the freedom and reduce the global conflict by the spirit of Asia, Afrika. Kami juga ingin himbau kepada rekan-rekan juru foto, beberapa saat lagi mohon berkenan untuk dapat menyesuaikan posisi pengambilan foto di sisi kiri atau kanan agar tidak menghalangi visibilitas dari para peserta maupun juga partisipan lainnya. Tamu undangan yang sudah hadir di area acara atau di Gedung Merdeka, kami silakan untuk segera menempati kursi dan kami persilakan untuk duduk. Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated because the ceremony is about to begin. Sekali lagi kami haturkan juga terima kasih kepada rekan-rekan media dan juga teman-teman fotografer yang bertugas. Namun boleh berkenan untuk dapat menyesuaikan pengambilan gambar di sisi sebelah kiri atau kanan agar tidak menghalangi visibilitas dari seluruh peserta, delegasi dan juga para duta besar yang hadir dalam rangkaian acara Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us. Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, selamat pagi, Wilujeng Sumping, welcome to Gedung Merdeka Bandung for the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Diki Irdan. It's such an absolute honor to host this event, to standing right in front of each
and every one of you joining us right now in one of the most historical building in Asia Africa, Gedung Merdeka. Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, right before heading to the main event, allow me to greet our VIPs today. We would like to say good morning and welcome to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and all of its representatives. Can we have an applause for the representative of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Indonesia? To the Ministry of Youth and Sports of Republic of Indonesia or its representative. Good morning and welcome to Mayor of Bandung, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Farhan. Good morning and welcome to Head of the Regional House of Representatives of Bandung, the Honorable of Mr. Asep Mulyadi. The Governor of West Java Province or its representative. The Regional Leadership Coordination Forum of Bandung or Forkopimda Kota Bandung. Good morning and welcome to the Chief of Family Welfare and Empowerment Mobilization Team of Bandung or TP PKK Kota Bandung, Mrs. Aryatri Farhan. Good morning and also welcome to the Head of Section 1 of TP PKK Kota Bandung, Mrs. Fitriana Dewi Erwin. Good morning and welcome to the Head of Civil Servants Wives Association of Bandung atau Dharma Wanita Kota Bandung, Mrs. R. Dewi Pertiwi Zulkarnain. Good morning and welcome to all regional government apparatus, the Chairman of Asia Africa Youth Forum, Priyanka Arifa Putri. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise, applause for each and every one of us this morning at Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 7 decades under the leadership of Mr. President Sukarno, 29 countries from Asia and Africa united right here in this building to speak about the freedom, the fight colonialism and imperialism, and also reduce the global conflict. And this year, the new generations is ready to speak louder. Inspired by the Jakarta Declarations and also Bandung Message, Asia Africa Youth Forum carries a new spirit by the theme Youth Driving Global South Cooperation through Tourism, Trade and Investment. So distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before we heading to the main session, to live up the spirit of Asia Africa, join us to sing the national anthem of Indonesia. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for singing the national anthem of Indonesia. Menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, you may return to seat. May please be seated. Thank you for joining to sing the Indonesia national anthem of Indonesia Raya. We believe that from Bandung, Indonesia, the spirit of Asia Africa has never stopped, never find an end, because every single year there will always new generation to speak about many messages, to speak about the freedom, to fight the imperialism, and also the colonialism, and also to reduce the global conflict. And now, Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, right in in few moments, we are about to present you one of Indonesia traditional dance performances from West Java. Most of you may be quite familiar with Jaipong. So Jaipong is one of Indonesia traditional dance performances. And this morning, we'll have a very special performances of Jaipong that will be presented and brought to you by Sanggar Rumah Culture.
Was born in Bandung, where leaders of Asia and Africa dared to believe that unity could heal a broken world. But as the years unfolded, the light dimmed, the world grew heavy with conflict, and the young, the beating pulse of change, were drowned beneath noise and indifference. And still today, the cries for justice echo from the people of Palestine, whose struggle reminds us that freedom is never finished. Yet from the silent, a new flame rises. Through the Asia-Africa Youth Forum, voices awaken once more, bold, compassionate, and afraid to dream. For Bandung still burns the capital of Asian African solidarity, where the spirit of liberation ignites again to every shore of Asia and Africa, to every heart that still believes in justice.
A round of applause, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again for very outstanding performances from Sanggar Rumah Culture. So that was a very outstanding performances. Every single movement really speaks clearly about what's currently happening right now worldwide. That probably be one of the key message of the Asia Africa Festival and also Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to mark the opening ceremony of the Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, allow me to invite the chairman of Asia Africa Youth Forum to present the speech for the welcoming ceremony or the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. So we would like to invite Mrs. Priyanka Putri Arifa as the chairman of Asia Africa Youth Forum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Warm greetings of solidarity and greetings to all people here today. Distinguished guests, esteemed officials, and respected delegates, allow me to extend a very heartfelt welcome to Gedung Merdeka, to Menteri Luar Negeri ataupun yang mewakili, beserta jajaran Kementerian Luar Negeri, Menteri Pemuda dan Olahraga ataupun yang mewakili, beserta jajaran Kementerian Pemuda dan Olahraga, Wali Kota Bandung, Bapak Muhammad Farhan, Bapak Wakil Wali Kota Bandung, Bapak Haji Erwin, Bapak Ketua DPRD Kota Bandung, Gubernur Provinsi Jawa Barat yang diwakili oleh Kepala Biro Pemerintahan dan Otonomi Daerah, Forkopimda Kota Bandung, Sekretaris Daerah Kota Bandung, Ibu Ketua TPPKK Kota Bandung beserta Ketua Bidang 1 TPPKK Kota Bandung, Ketua DWP Kota Bandung, para Kepala OPD Pemerintah Kota Bandung, Kadis Budpar, Kadis Pora, Kepala DPMTSP, izin. And to all distinguished delegates and guests, welcome to Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Today, we gather for the main event of the Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, held from October 16th until 17th, 2025 at Gedung Merdeka and Savoy Homan, Kota Bandung. We are surely that these buildings are a very historic landmarks of diplomacy in Indonesia in Asia Africa Conference in 1955. This year, our theme is Youth Driving Global South through Tourism, Trade, and Investment. Why we choose this theme? Because we believe that these three pillars, tourism, trade, and investment, are not just an economic concept, but they are pathways for collaboration, innovation, and sustainability driven by the passion and creativity of young people. Tourism, we believe that it serves as a catalyst for inclusive economic growth. Trade, strengthen regional, national, and international cooperation. And last, investment, open sustainable development routes, foster intergenerational partnership, and facilitate knowledge exchange across border. Ladies and gentlemen, the Asia and Africa Youth Forum has been a long and meaningful journey. This year, Asia Africa Youth Forum, or AAYF, series draws inspiration from the Sundanese philosophy, Sadulur Papat, Kalima Pancer. Papat means four, and Kalima means five. In Sundanese culture, This philosophy represents the profound relationship between human beings and the universe. Spiritually and philosophically, it reminds us the harmony among four cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west, that all centered around a united core. This reflects the very essence of Bandung City, a city whose identity is woven from the diverse culture of its many corners, all converging in the center of the city, where the spirit of international diplomacy was born and continued. Rooted in our main theme, tourism, trade, and investment, this year AIF highlights the rich diversity of Bandung's culture and tourism potential through a series of events spread across the city's four regions. First, on 5th October, in East Bandung or Bandung Timur, we held East Pride Bandung Music Journey 2025, Bandung Bersuara Destinasi Berkembang at Teras Sunda Cibiru that promotes underground music-based tourism, which has long flourished in East Bandung. Second, on the 9th of October, in North Bandung or Bandung Utara, we held Bandung Jazz Jamming Present, the city's rhythm, a new tourism attraction at Ruang Putih. This event, featuring jazz and Western music as part of Bandung creative tourism identity. And on 11th of October, in South Bandung or Bandung Selatan, we held Ngarumat Jeung Ngaruat Kota Bandung at Padepokan Mayang Sunda to preserve traditional Sundanese culture, encouraging young people to take pride in our Sundanese culture roots and heritage. And finally, today, we gather for the main event at the opening ceremony and TTI talk show. Today's talk show, designed to provide valuable insights for youth delegates and participants to participating in this forum. Throughout the discussion, participants will explore ideas and perspectives from professionals and experts at regional, national, and international levels, leading toward the formulation of AIF's joint statement. And tomorrow, at 17th of October, that joint statement, which is a collective vision of youth from across Asia and Africa, will be presented to Government of Bandung City as both a policy recommendation and foundation for future youth development initiative across diverse sectors. And finally, our journey will conclude on 19th of October in West Bandung or Bandung Barat with the title Harmoni Kota Untuk Kita, Ngariung Dina Beda Ngahiji Dina Rasa, a people's festival at Kampung Toleransi or Tolerance Village that will celebrate the beauty of unity in diversity, where various culture and religion thrive together in harmony. And today, we are very proud to announce that with the initiative of AIF initiators, Ariza, Reva, Isfi, Vicky, Dimas, Pandep, Anggia, a total of 123 young people from the city of Bandung have been actively involved in the formulation and implementation of AIF series, leading for today's participation of 199 youth delegates from various Asian and African countries. Through AIF, we affirm that first, Bandung carries the legacy and responsibility as the capital of Asian-African solidarity, growing hand in hand with our brothers and sisters. Second, Asia-Africa youth embody unity and resilience, standing in unwavering solidarity with our brothers and sisters, especially in Palestine. And third, Bandung
is home to outstanding, open-minded, and progressive youth, ready to become intergenerational leaders toward the vision of Bandung Utama, unggul, terbuka, amanah, maju, dan agamis. May the spirit of Bandung, once the birthplace of solidarity, continues to shine through us, inspiring hope, unity, and collaboration for generations to come. And last but not least, let youth take the lead. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, please give a big round of applause for the chairman of Asia Africa Youth Forum, Ms. Priyanka Putri Arifa. So there has been several events in several sectors of Bandung, such as in East Bandung, North Bandung, West and also South Bandung, and there are still some of the more events to come, and we really hope that each and every one of you will enjoy and joining or be part of those series event of Asia Africa Festival 2025. Excellencies, distinguished guest delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and now let's heading to the next speech. There will be a speech from Mayor of Bandung, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Farhan. So we would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Farhan on the stage.
Thank you, Priyanka. That was a really good speech, very eloquent. That explains why you are becoming the chairperson of the Asia Africa Youth Forum this year. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, what more can I say? She said it all. She said everything that I could have said. But allow me then to welcome everyone to this very historical place. Can you feel the seat? Imagine 70 years ago, our founding fathers and founding mothers from the newborn countries, very young nations of Asia and Africa, they sat where you are sitting right now. 70 years ago, this building witnessed the birth of ideas that independence is more than just being free from colonialism. Freedom requires independence, and that independence needs to be gained, needs to be earned. It's not given, it's not God's gift. It's something that we should fight for. That is why this year Asia Africa Youth Forum is based on the idea of economic welfare independence through tourism, trading, and investment. These three sectors has been tried, has been experimented, has been applied by all nations in Asia and Africa. Throughout the decades, the nations has arisen through some level of big time achievement. In Asia, we should note that China and India has become the economic power. And at the same time, Singapore and Hong Kong has become the hub of economy in Asia and also the world. The Southeast Asia nations has also been growing to become from regional leaders on the way to become the world leaders. Meanwhile, in Africa, some nations like Nigeria, Ethiopia, noted as countries that led Africa, especially from Sub-Sahara, Central, West, and South Africans, to attracted the world's attention that Africa cannot be ignored, that Africa is more than just a rich land with all the minings and natural resources and lion. It's more than just that. Africa has become one of the most important continent that we need throughout the people. And of course, the developing countries in Asia and Africa, like my good friends here, the ambassador of Bangladesh, our second meeting right now, was actually initiated in one of the, not one, but the oldest university in Indonesia, in Institut Teknologi of Bandung, a few months back. And that concludes our forum today. Therefore, I would like to show some appreciation to all of our distinguished guests from all over the world that represent their countries and their nations and their international global interests. I would like to welcome, of course, our friends from the Foreign Ministry of Indonesia that has shown a great deal of support in helping us to make this event happen. Second of all, of course, I would like also to show some great appreciation. I think we all should give a big round of applause for the government of West Java province, who has been taking care of this beautiful heritage building. That make us feel we are part of those 29 countries that came here in 1955. Those 29 countries now developed into 120 or 102. 102 countries that pledge themselves as part of the solidarity of Asia and Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the city of Bandung cannot do this with our own bare hand. We are also supported by our legislator. Please welcome also my dear friend Pak Asep Mulyadi as the chairperson of the legislators of the city of Bandung, and also supported by all the elements of this government that includes the TNI, our National Armed Forces, and also by the local police department dari Polres dan Polda yang hadir juga, is great appreciation that creates the cooperation that make today happens. Ladies and gentlemen, the city of Bandung in 1955 was the place that was appointed upon agreement after a serial of talk in Bogor, in New Delhi, and also in Colombo, that also concludes the commitment of the arrival of 29 head of state to Bandung. I always repeat this sentence. Imagine in 1955, imagine the infrastructure that we had in 1955. Imagine the leader from Ethiopia. I'm not sure if they flew at that time. I think through the sea, through the air, landed in Jakarta, landed in Andir in Bandung, used the train and everything. It may take a couple of weeks just to travel from Bangladesh to Indonesia. But they came anyway. They came not because lured by a handful of diamonds. It's not. They came because they were motivated by one spirit. And that spirit is the spirit of solidarity. Therefore, in 2015, Bandung has been declared as the capital of Asia-Africa solidarity. 10 years on, we all who lives and govern the city of Bandung have the obligation to make sure that the spirit of solidarity that has been bounded to the city of Bandung will never be diminished. And for my young friends from all over Asia and Africa and other countries, I would like to welcome you to enjoy the vibe and the vibrant that the city has always been known. 20 years ago, this city has always been known as the center of textile industry. But before that, in the early 20th century, the city was built by the masters and the big corporation of plantation for coffee and tea. And now, Bandung has been building itself as the center of fashion. Now you can imagine where the roots come from. And also the center of what we call the coffee culture. Also root from our early development. And of course, I would like to personally, as a coffee lover and as a human being, I always praise our friends from Ethiopia because that's where the human races come from and where the coffee come from. So this connection is more than just political and economic connection. This connection is not just a cultural connection. This connection is about humanity and a long history of us being human. So, my young friends, I will not say too much because I know for you guys, listening to this old man is quite boring. I just want to make sure that Priyanka and friends, where are you? All the organizers, please make sure that you guys are doing your best job in hosting our honorable guests, old and young. Make sure they will enjoy the vibrant city of Bandung and the vibes that comes from the coffee, from the fashion, from the architectural, from the music, the dance, and everything. Please make sure that these 2 days will be the most unforgettable days for all of our guests. Once again, welcome to Bandung and enjoy the conference. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. Muhammad Farhan, you may remain on the stage because we will having the opening ceremony by hit the gong right in the Merdeka building. So for having this ceremony, we would like to invite some of the participants on the stage. We have our Mayor of Bandung on the stage, Mr. Muhammad Farhan. The next to join on the stage to hit the gong to mark the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, we would like to invite Ketua DPRD Kota Bandung, Head of the Regional House of Representative of Bandung, Honorable Mr. Asep Mulyadi. We'd like to invite you to join on the stage with the Mayor of Bandung. Perwakilan Kementerian Luar Negeri or the representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Dino Rahmadiana. Perwakilan dari 11 negara, we also would like to invite the representative from 11 countries. One country will be represented by only one representative. So we would like to invite the representative from Papua New Guinea. One representative from Papua New Guinea. Would you please join on the stage for the ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025? The Embassy of Malaysia, the representative of Rwanda Embassy, the representative of Embassy of Singapore, the representative of Embassy of the Uni Arab Emirates, the representative of Embassy of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the representative of Embassy of the Republic of Guinea, the representative of Embassy of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, the Honorary Consulate of Burkina Faso, the Consulate General of Seychelles, the Embassy of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and also the Chairman of Asia Africa Youth Forum, Ms. Priyanka.
Ya, terima kasih. Ladies and gentlemen, gong is a musical instrument that exists not only in Indonesia but all over the world. Gong also the symbol of our one soul goals. Kalau kata orang Indonesia namanya menyatukan dan membulatkan tekad. Tolong terjemahkan. This gong also symbolizes not only the opening of this conference, but to make sure that none of us forget that Asia Africa Conference still own a full independence for our brothers and sisters in Palestine.
A big round of applause, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the Mayor of Bandung hit the gong. It marks the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, Youth Driving Global South Cooperation through Tourism, Trade, and Investment. Kita akan abadikan momen ini, so we will capture this very special moment. Would you please join us for the photo session? Give your best smile to the camera. We will capture this moment. Delegates, Mayor of Bandung, and also all participants on the stage. We will capture this moment on the stage of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. So I'll count from 3 to 1. Count on me. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Second pose. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And now please, having the second photo session right in front of the stage. Passing the stage with all participants and all excellencies. Would you please join us? Please rise to join the photo session. Kami undang tamu undangan lainnya juga untuk ikut berfoto. Tentunya boleh berdiri agar dapat tertangkap oleh kamera. So we would like to invite each and every one of you, all delegates, excellencies and participants, please rise or stand up to joining the photo session with all excellencies and also participants of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Kami juga undang tentunya Ibu Aryatri Farhan untuk bergabung, berfoto, kami silakan. Berikut juga tentunya Ibu Fitriana Dewi Erwin, Ibu R. Dewi Pertiwi Zulkarnain. Baik, sudah di posisi nampaknya. Ready? Count on me, 3, 2, 1. Second pose. Okay, another pose with this pose, 1, 2, 3. Thank you everyone. Please give a big round of applause for all of us right here in this ballroom of Gedung Merdeka for the Spirit of Asia Africa 2025. So as the gong hit by the Mayor of Bandung with all representative and also participants, it marks the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025 as part of Asia Africa Festival 2025. It's such a great honor to be with each and every one of you on this very special event, a very historical moment. It was happened since 70 years ago. The spirit continues and will never end because there will always be new generations to live up the spirit, the voice from the Asian and African countries that we really hope that all the messages, all the voices will be heard globally. And once again, we also would like to deliver a very huge thanks to the Mayor of Bandung, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Farhan. Thank you for being here. And also all part of the government of Bandung, with all the Regional Leadership Coordination Forum of Bandung, Forkopimda Kota Bandung. Thank you for attending the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. And finally, the first sessions of today's event coming to an end, but we will having the next session by some of the interesting talk show that you may not to be missed, because there will be some of the specific interesting theme that we will invite you to join us with some of the interesting speakers and theme. Kami ucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Bapak dan Ibu tamu undangan yang sudah menghadiri sesi opening ceremony dari Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Tentunya untuk pemerintah Kota Bandung, Bapak Muhammad Farhan, Wali Kota Bandung yang sudah hadir. Berikut juga tentunya Ketua DPRD Kota Bandung, Bapak Asep Mulyadi, perwakilan dari pemerintahan Provinsi Jawa Barat. Kami juga ucapkan terima kasih kepada Forkopimda Kota Bandung. Berikut juga kepada Ketua TPPKK Kota Bandung, Ibu Ariatri Farhan. Ketua Bidang 1 TPPKK Kota Bandung, Ibu Fitriana Dewi Erwin. Lalu juga Ketua Dharma Wanita Kota Bandung, Ibu R. Dewi Pertiwi Zulkarnain. Jajaran OPD Pemerintahan Kota Bandung dan juga partisipan selainnya. Coming up next, Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as you may see in our own social media on Instagram at Asia Africa Youth Forum, you can also follow the account of Asia Africa Youth Forum to find out more about each agenda, each series of event that will await you to be part of those series event of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025 during Asia Africa Festival 2025. Coming up next, there will be several talk show live from Gedung Merdeka or Merdeka Building Bandung. The first one will be about tourism for the future that will be led by our moderator, Mrs. Balkis Alfiatus Shifa Nawawi, that soonly will join us on the stage. And of course, not only that one, We also will open the Q&A sessions. So if there's some of the interesting and exciting questions that you may ask to the speakers, you may join us at the Q&A sessions. Right after the lunch break and Zuhur prayer, there will also the second talk show that will talk about shaping regional trade, youth innovation, policy direction, and international collaboration. So there also the Q&A session at the second session of the talk show. So make sure you join the talk show session of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Earlier in this afternoon today, there will be also the third talk show by theme Driving Impact Investment, Youth Leadership, Finance Innovation, and also Global Opportunities. For more info about the agenda or series of event of this year Asia Africa Festival and also Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, make sure that each and every one of you have followed our social media on Instagram, because there are so many interesting information, agenda, event. You can follow at Asia Africa Youth Forum and also Asia Africa Festival. So we really hope that you will enjoy all series of events for the next coming days, because there will be Asia Africa Carnival that will lead you to be part of the crowd of Asia Africa Festival in 2025. Distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, do not miss the interesting talk show that we will have today. So as I told you before, there will be 3 interesting talk show live from Gedung Merdeka with very credible speakers, and also there will be a special session for having the interaction with the speakers at the Q&A session.
Distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, please remain in the hall or on the hall, because coming up next there will be the first talk show, and we will invite each and every one of you to be part of the first session of the talk show, because today's agenda hasn't been finished yet. So please remain in Gedung Merdeka to joining the next session of the event, the first talk show for the first day of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Sekali lagi kami juga informasikan kepada teman-teman volunteer dan juga all liaison officer atau LO untuk dapat mengarahkan para delegasi untuk segera kembali menempati tempat duduk agar tidak meninggalkan area hall Gedung Merdeka, karena beberapa saat lagi talk show pertama akan segera dimulai. Kami informasikan kepada teman-teman volunteer dan juga teman-teman LO yang bertugas agar mengarahkan seluruh delegasi untuk segera kembali menempati tempat duduk, karena sesaat lagi talk show akan segera dimulai.
Still live from Gedung Merdeka, Bandung at the first day of Asia Africa Youth Forum as we have the opening ceremony of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Diki Irdan as your host. We'll be back hosting you to the next session of the event. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as we have the opening ceremony, it marks the first journey of Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. And coming up next on the stage from Gedung Merdeka or Merdeka Building, there will be an interesting talk show. The first talk show will talk about the very interesting theme or topics, which is tourism for the future, youth-driven culture, sustainability, and destination development. So we will invite our moderator for leading and hosting the talks this morning for the first session of the talk show. Please give a big round of applause for our moderator for Tourism for the Future, Ms. Balkis Alfiatus Shiva.
Test. All right, thank you, MC.
Thank you so much. Stage is yours.
All right, thank you so much, MC, for the excitement to open this session. And good morning, everyone. Okay, Sampurasun. All right, maybe before we start this forum, please, for everyone, move forward so you can hear this session well, and we can start this session in a minute. Once again, for everyone, please move forward so you can hear all the amazing panelists here. Okay, thank you so much. Once again, good morning, everyone. My name is Balkis Nawawi, an international relations student from Pasundan University. And now I am chair at Indonesia Youth Diplomacy Local Chapter West Java. And before we start this session, okay, I would like to invite you to let's play a quick game. The game called Put Your Fingers Down. So have you ever heard this game before? Okay, so it's very simple game. So please show your hand and give me 5 fingers. Okay, please, everyone. Okay, so when you raise your hand and give me your 5 fingers, I will give your 3 statements that related to tourism. And if you feel related to this topic or the tourism statement, please put your fingers down and 1 finger for each statement. Okay, get it? Okay, so we begin. Okay, the first statement, please raise your hand first. 5 fingers. All right. First statement, put your fingers down if you ever chosen a travel destination because it looks so aesthetic in social media. Okay, I saw a lot of fingers down already. Okay, next statement. Put your fingers down if you ever bought local craft or souvenir to support small business. Okay, whether it's cute or you just want to support their business are allowed. Okay, last statement. Put your fingers down if you ever learn something new about the culture through traveling. Okay, I see many of you put your all 3 fingers, and yeah, please give a round of applause. Okay, thank you so much. And that means we have many passionate travelers and change makers here today, and you guys are in the right room, in the right session, because now we're in the Tourism Chamber Expert Talk Show, Tourism for the Future, Youth-Driven Culture, Sustainability, and Destination Development. Please give a round of applause, everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, tourism is more than just travel, right? And it is a bridge that connects people, cultures, and also economies. In a rapidly changing world where sustainability, innovation, and also inclusivity shape global agenda, tourism has emerged as a vital force for economic empowerment, cultural diplomacy, and also environmental stewardship. Yet, challenges remain from sustainability and over tourism to investment readiness and cultural authenticity. These are issues that require collaboration across government, private sectors, and all communities, and that's exactly what we'll explore today. And now, to begin this insightful session, please join me in welcoming our distinguished speakers. First, we have Mr. Alexander Rayan from NHI Halal Tourism Center. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Alex. To Mr. Alex, please join us to the stage. Yeah, you can sit here, Mr. All right, and next, we have Mr. Albushra Basnur, the ambassador of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Djibouti, and the Africa Union, 2019 and 2025, also founder of Basnur Academy and chairman of PPIT. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Albushra. Please join us to the stage, Mr. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Alex and Mr. Albushra. How's your trip to Bandung so far? That's nice. Okay. All right. So, before we move to the discussion, we will first hear a brief presentation from Mr. Alexander first, who will share an overview of his insight on today's topic about tourism for the future, youth-driven culture, sustainability, and destination development. Therefore, Mr. Alex, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Balkis,
Yeah.
as moderator. Uh, uh, this is a participant, the whole participant. I hope you enjoy now in the lovely city of Bandung. And the first, I want to present my topic about tourism for the future, especially youth-driven culture, sustainability, and destination development. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now, sorry. Yeah, we have top 10 travel trends for 2025. First is a sustainable travel and ecotourism. Is the first trend, and the second is workation and blazer travel. Workation and blazer travel is a combined between leisure and business traveler. And the third trend is a solo travel. Solo travel is individual travel, not in a group travel. And next trend is agri-tourism and rural escape. The trend, this trend, now tourists always reach the destination, especially for natural destination. And the next trend is culcation trends. Culcation trends is tourists always choice the cool of weather of the destination. And next is sport tourism. Sport tourism is the one of the tourist activities and tourism event in the several destinations. And now sport tourism is focused for the local sport to like the we call it a pesta laut. Pesta laut is a sea event, and the next is a pop culture tourism. Culture tourism is one of a trend in 2025 now. Tourists always choose the destination for the authentic culture. And the next trend is a slow tourism. Slow tourism means is tourists always relax in the long time in the destination. And the hyper local tourism is focused for experience of the destination. And the last of the trends is wellness tourism. Wellness tourism is a part of the health tourism. Okay, next slide. Ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia we have 4 pillars of tourism development. The first pillar is a human resources and destination organization. This is a first pillar must have in the its destination. And the second pillar is a destination. In Indonesia, we have 5 priority destination priority in Indonesia. Is the its destination have many attraction, and the next pillar is the industry, like hotel, restaurant, tourism resort, and etc. And the fourth pillar is a marketing, include promotion, tourism promotion here. Okay, next slide. In Indonesia, we have 3 elements of tourism destination development. The first element is attraction, accessibility, and amenities. The 3 elements must have in its destination. And next slide is a foreign tourist profile in 2024, the end of the 2024. This is a international visitors arrival in Indonesia. In the end of 2024, we reached 13 million tourist arrival. And we hope in the next years increase in the year to year. And foreign tourists exit to Indonesia through the main gate. The one main gate is Ngurah Rai Airport in Bali, and the next Soekarno-Hatta, and etc. Main gate Indonesia. Yeah. The next slide. This is the pattern of international visitors' arrival in Indonesia. The majority of the tourist arrival to Indonesia come from Malaysia, Australia, and Singapore. And foreign tourists have length of stay in Indonesia One is Russia, Pakistan, and Tiongkok. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a composition of the foreign tourist generation in Indonesia. Millennial tourists contribute 32%, and Gen Z is 16.9%, and the baby boomers is 80.80%, and Gen Z is at 24.9%. Okay, the next slide is a domestic tourist profile in Indonesia. Domestic tourists continue to increase year to year, and domestic tourist trade in 2024 increased by the 21.6%. The next slide is a profile of the domestic tourists in Indonesia. Male 57% and the female 42%. And the age of the domestic tourists, age from 25 for 44 age is 69%, and the more than 25 age is 17%. And the motivate of the local tourism, domestic tourism, is recreation is at 36%, and business is at 22%, and visit friends and family at 21.5%. The next slide is the average of domestic tourist expenditure per trip. In Indonesia, at the end of the 2024, we have 2.3 million rupiahs. And 3.3 rupiahs purchased for transportation, accommodation, food and beverage, and the other. Okay, the next slide is a tourism policy to 2024 to 2029. The first is strengthening sustainable tourism. And the next tourism destination in the 5 super priority destination. And the next program is a digitalization of promotion. And the next program is a strengthening human resources development through vocation education and certification. Ladies and gentlemen, the program of the sustainable tourism now is we have calculating carbon footprint and balancing the ecotourism in Indonesia. We have main campaign, we call it Kita Mulai Sekarang. We start from now. And we have several sub-campaign. One is reduce single-use plastic, and the next destination conservation, low carbon transportation, and the carbon offsetting. Next is a tourism culture program. We have a program of develop tourism village. We call it Mandiri Village, Maju Village, and Berkembang Rintisan Village, and the other. And the next, we have develop of living culture, especially in the several village. And the next we have program for local destination organization management. The best practice in Indonesia is in Borobudur. We call it Borobudur Trail of Civilization. And the next, we have several Charisma event Nusantara. And last is a small entrepreneur. We call it UMKM, especially to produce handicraft. I think this is my presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Alex, for a wonderful explanation. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Alex. And I can conclude that from the presentation from Mr. Alex, we can see the database of tourism itself, and we can see the pillars or elements from tourism, and also the importance of visitors' arrivals, and also the composition, even the composition of visitors. And I thought the percentage, I thought Gen Z will be the dominance, will be the largest percentage, but maybe we will. But yeah, let's see in the future. And now next, since I am an IR student, I really and I aspiring to be ambassador as well. So I really curious about the perspective from Mr. Albushra Basnur. So yeah, you may have the floor for the presentation. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Albushra.
Thank you very much, my dear young friend, Bolkis, Alex. Good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you today? All right. Be relaxed. No pressure. Okay. All right. Now, first of all, I'd like to ask you, how many students from African continent this morning? Please raise your hand. Because, all right. Oh, that's a lot. That's good. Because I just arrived. Thank you. Thank you. I just finished my tenure as the ambassador of Indonesia to Ethiopia, Djibouti, and African Union for only 6 years. But you know, that's my good friend. Where is May also there? Well, okay, now I need one volunteer from African, my young friends, students, and also one from Indonesia. I need one from Africa. I'd like to ask you, my young friends, African student, can you come up here because I'm going to ask you, please give me one sentence, 2 sentences or more about Indonesia, where you have been living in here. Please come here to the stage. Good opportunity to take a picture with me. And also, I'd like to invite my Indonesian young friends. Please come up here to the stage. I'd like to hear from you 1, 2 sentences about what you have in your mind about Africa. Thank you, please. From Indonesia, I need a volunteer. Siapa? Ada nggak yang
From
dari?
my Indonesian fellows,
Yes.
please.
Okay, I asked you about what you have in your mind if someone I talk about Ethiopia. The first impressions in your mind. Please come. Otherwise, you will miss the opportunity to take a picture with me and the very prominent figure here. Not me, except me, but me. Right?
Let's go.
Hey, come on, Indonesia. Indonesian
My
students.
Indonesia fellows.
Aha, volunteer. If not Indonesian students, maybe students around there. I mean, okay, come.
Okay.
Oh, this is gender equality. You know, one lady and one man. Okay, good. Silakan Mas, sini Mas. Yeah. Okay, now we give the first opportunity to ladies first, right? What's your name and where are you from, please?
Thank you, sir. My name is Wan Ali Salma, but people call me Miss Sally. Sally, yeah. I am from Uganda. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Thanks. About Indonesia, tell me, how long have you been here?
I've been here for almost 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's long enough to be an Indonesian. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Normally, when my friends ask me, I tell them I'm Orang Chanjul. So that means I've stayed here longer than I expected.
Okay.
When you ask me about Indonesia, before I came, the first thing I knew it was just about an Islamic state. Yeah. But right now that I'm here, the answer also has added on. When you ask me about Indonesia, I know it as a place that has got very beautiful sceneries to visit. Because everywhere I've gone to, Indonesia has very unique parts that they have made out of, maybe I should say resources. They have made tempat wisata. They are very, very beautiful. I cannot wait to tell my people that when I go back. That is the best thing I know about Indonesia right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, did you travel a lot in Bandung, West Java, and other part of Indonesia?
Yes, of course.
Which area? Which cities or province?
I have been to Yogyakarta, both in Borobudur and Prambanan. I have been to Bogor, and I have been to very many places in Lembang. I think Lembang is blessed with very beautiful sceneries. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Keep staying here. Okay, my dear friends, your name and then you're studying here in.
Yes.
You're a student, right? Okay, please. Tell me about what do you have in your mind if I talk about Africa or someone talk about Africa? What is the first impression come up immediately in your mind, please?
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, Mr. Ambassador. It's an honor for me to be here. My name is Franciscus Divo Marcelino Prasetya. You can call me Divo. And I am an international relations student at Universitas Katolik Parahyangan in Bandung. Yes. When you ask me about my first impression when I first hear the word Africa, what I will say is, I think rising, yeah. So in public views, I think Africa would be seen as a region or countries that are very, very low developed countries, right? However, when we study international relations and when we see the facts, the actual facts in the field, we can see that Africa is very, very a potential region actually. So for example, like South Africa, like Ethiopia, for example, they provide very, very rich natural resources, which are already considered by great powers like People's Republic of China, for example, as a market value, right? So I think Africa is a very, very potential region and very interesting to discuss.
Okay. You never visited Ethiopian, African countries so far?
No, I
You
haven't.
never?
Yes,
Okay.
I haven't yet.
Okay, are you planning to visit African countries one day for the leisure, as a tourist?
As a tourism and both as a study, of course, I will
Okay,
very
good,
interested.
good. All right, thank you so much. Please give them a round of big applause. Okay, take a picture with me. Come.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Please.
sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, my dear friends. We are going to talk about the tourism, youth first, tourism, trade and investment. You know what? The world without young tourism, young tourists, young travelers, backpackers, mostly young generations, that's going to be defunct. If the world's without young tourists going around to visit one country or another. The world without tourists, the economy and the development of our global world will be not moving forward. Now, let's see. Saya mau belajarin ini. Jalan nggak nih? Ah, bagus. Look at this. There are a lot of young people, young Indonesians, young foreigners who come to Indonesia traveling to visit many countries, to visit many provinces, cities, mountains, beaches, and so on, so on. They're always traveling to visit so many places. And not only in Indonesia. Look at this one. The last one, this one. You know what? The young man shake the world because of the Pacu Jalur, right? The news about what was happening in Pacu Jalur, di mana Pacu Jalur itu? Kalimantan ya? Riau, gitu kan ya, Riau. So the news went worldwide. And Indonesia became very popular during the time and until now, okay? Now, look at this. So many countries in the world. You can see that so many very interesting places to visit, and also so many cities, places, cultural sites, and so on and so on. If you open the flight radar in the Google, you can see that there are a lot of thousands of airplanes moving from one country to another countries, moving from one city to another city, right? Because people moving. So many places that we can see in different countries. Look, if we talk about the international tourism, it could be 16 trillion US dollar industry by 2034. You can imagine that the number, very big, huge. And in 2024, international tourist arrivals, look at the number, 1.4 billion, and 99% already recovered from the pandemic a couple of years ago, 2020, 2021, right? And also increased significantly 11%. And international tourism received increase 1.6 trillion in 2023. That's already matching with the level 2019. And based on the World Economic Outlook report, the tourism sector grew by 2.9. That's very big, but a little smaller comparing to the 2023. In 2024, the global tourists contributed. You can see that, right? Okay. We have a limited time, right? Then, yeah, okay. My dear friends, as a career diplomat, like also my colleague here, Pak Dino and Ibu May here, we assigned to many countries. The first assignment, I was in the Philippines, okay, in Philippines. And the second assignment, I was in Italy, Rome, at the Embassy of Indonesia. The third country I visited, I assigned was the United States as the Consul General of Indonesia in Houston, Texas. And just 6 months ago, as I told you earlier, I was in Ethiopia, African continent. You know what? I learned a lot about tourism. I learned about the trend of the young people in each country. Not only in this country, because I also visited many other countries for the short visit as what? As a mission, doing mission from the government. Look at this. Trade Expo Indonesia. Trade Expo Indonesia. We are going to talk about, and already we talk about TTI, right? Tourism, trade, and investment. Just yesterday, the President of Indonesia, Bapak Prabowo, just officially opened Trade Expo Indonesia in Jakarta, not in Jakarta anyway, BSD, Serpong, starting from yesterday until 19. You know what? Hundreds of thousands of people will come and to see this trade expo in Jakarta. They come from all over the world, all countries in the world. They are not only doing business there, but the participants also will travel, will visit so many other places, cities, provinces in Indonesia. So we can see that this is a combination of doing business and travel. Yeah? Okay? Look, what are the main issues if we are talking about tourism? There are a lot. But the main issues, among other, are economic development. Secure economic development means that tourism always support economic development, whether it is in cities, whether it is in rural area, and many others. The second about the security, because in some countries, security is a problem when people doing travel, security. And the third about the volunteerism. In many countries, there are so many young people working voluntarily in the tourist sector. Yes, in Indonesia, we also see a lot of young people working in tourism voluntarily, and also in African countries. And then what else? About the local art and culture, about local cuisine. I'm going to read it fast. About information is very important, and also advertisement. Because without this flow of information and advertisement, people will not know about the potentials of tourism in particular countries. And I should also put there, I forgot to put it there, about the role of mass media, right? Mass media, this is very important. What else? About the education. I believe that you know about the terminology of the edu-tourism, right? And what else? There are so many challenges. I'm not going to go thoroughly about each of these issues. Look at this. Young travelers, 50% of millennials, Z generation, travels for the leisure. Okay? 50% engage in experiential travel, such as working overseas, learning, studying, and so on. And what else? These young experienced travelers generally stay longer and spend more money. Yes, we know that so many young travelers go abroad with, stay there in the capsule hotel and also as a backpacker. I skip this one. Youth program in tourism. Once youth traveling overseas, they must have a lot of friends. So networking is very important in doing travel for the youth. What else? So many young people traveling overseas, they write in the social media and also in media, mainstream media. Some of them, they publish a book, and they are also acted as the actor of public diplomacy and also establish the collaboration. And these are driving the future of tourism industry. Now, I would like to tell you about a little bit about public diplomacy. This is just kind of a little lecture in front of you, my dear friends. If I talk about the public diplomacy, I was a director of public diplomacy 7-8 years ago, together with my colleague, Ibu May here. The actor of public diplomacy are government officials and the second, non-government officials. Who are the government officials? Mostly done by diplomats or hiring officials appointed to do this kind of missions or as a delegation assigned overseas. And the non-government actors are youth, like you, my dear friend, youth. Who else? Filmmakers, writers, media, artists, and so on and so on. Look at this, the challenges. Actually, I already listened to from my colleague, Pa Alex. This is the challenges. Pa Alex mentioned about the trends in 2025. But those are the challenges about the high cost, geopolitical tension. I believe you know that you follow the news, what are happening in the world. Climate change, digital disruption. What else? Addressing staff shortage and skill gaps, ensuring cybersecurity, improving infrastructure, fostering sustainable and inclusive world. Hey, let's go to Africa. Hey, are you still awake? Yeah, that's good. Now we go to Africa. You know what? In the first half of 2025, the continent recorded about a 12% rise in international tourist arrival, the highest in the world, 12%. What else? Most of the tourists come from Europe and America, and of course from Asia. What else? The tourists also come from the neighboring countries within African continent. Okay? Yeah, look at this. This is very interesting. How much money countries in Africa, received from the tourist sector. I don't want to read out all of them, starting from Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, South Africa, Algeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Seychelles, Cape Verde. That money is there. Morocco. Anybody come from Morocco here? Nobody from Morocco? All right. Next. The most developed tourism infrastructure in African continent. What countries? South Africa, Mauritius, Egypt, Botswana, Kenya, Tanzania, Morocco, Tunisia, Rwanda, Namibia. Okay? Revenue, South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania, Tunisia, Algeria, Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia. Why Africa has a very strong potential on tourism? Because of what? The strong growth and resilient technology adoption, diverse attractions, economic growth, growing intra-African travel. Tourism in Africa in 2020, okay, I skip this one. The challenges in Africa. Yes, there are also a number of challenges in tourism in African continent. But of course, in each country, different to other countries. But in general, the challenges are high cost in flight, high flight costs, infrastructure gaps, visa and air connectivity issues. For your information, my dear friends, there are still problems for our sisters and brothers from African continent, from African countries, to receive a visa in foreign countries. I believe some of you, I hope not, but I think some of your friends experience what I've said. And what else? Marketing and awareness, security and global perception, and lack of accessibility, right? Now, how to improve it? Of course, we have to improve air connectivity, streamline visas, invest in infrastructure, develop digital strategies, and enhance cross-border cooperation. In Asia-Africa Tourism Youth new initiative, you have to think it, my dear friends. Don't just rely on pointing out to the government and hiring officials, but think about your role, what you can do to help, to contribute, to participate, to develop tourism in Africa, in Asia, especially with Indonesia. You have to organize youth exchange visit. You have to organize Young Entrepreneurs Forum. And you can also organize the meeting, such kind of the Africa update, Indonesia update. Not necessarily physically you go to Africa or African friends come to Indonesia, because you can use technology through the Zoom meeting, okay? I think that's all for now, and you can reach me, you can contact me, you can communicate with me with this number. This number is Go Public. Thank you very much.
All right. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Ambassador. Thank you for your great explanation, Mr. And yeah, as Mr. Ambassador said that we as young people, we have to focus what we can do to participate in tourism field. And he mentioned before the potential tourism, both Asia and Africa, and then the importance of youth and of public diplomacy, including government, and also non-government aspect. And when we talk about government, I believe that tourism never can be separated by its policy, right? And also Mr. Alex mentioned before that about tourism policy on Indonesia. Therefore, I would like to ask Mr. Alex about what are the main policy directions Indonesia is pursuing to ensure sustainability in its tourism development. Maybe you can explain to us about the main policy directions in Indonesia. The floor is yours, sir. I would like to give you a question. What are the main policy directions Indonesia is pursuing to ensure sustainability in its tourism development? Since we hear that before you mentioned about tourism policy in Indonesia, and we would like to hear more about that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. In Indonesia, we have policy about how to sustainable tourism. We have program, we call it carbon footprint.
Okay.
Carbon footprint is one of tools to calculate how much emission for each tourist in Indonesia. And we hope after we campaign the Kita Mulai Sekarang, we have this campaign can be contribute to reduce the climate change, especially for tourism. That is.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. And yeah, next I would like to hear from Mr. Ambassador, from your experience, of course, from your experience as ambassador to African Union, what best practices from other countries that can be learned to connect tourism with trade, culture, and also investment? Maybe specifically about the policy or anything else.
Okay, thank you so much. First, out of 4 countries I assigned, and then where I was, I think we have to learn a lot from other countries how to develop tourism in Indonesia better and stronger.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Italy, there is one special, particular province, so-called Venice. I think some of you know that, maybe you have visited that area already. Venice, that is a province in Italy. There is zero unemployment there. You cannot find any single, especially young people, without job. And 99% of them are working in the tourism sector, right? And similarly happened in many other provinces in Italy. And very interesting that if we talk about Switzerland, the number of population in Switzerland only about 10 million plus. But you know what? How many tourists coming in? Hundreds of millions come there. And when I was in the United States, in Texas, Houston, I visited U.S. territory, Virgin Islands. That is in the Caribbean area, very small island. You know what? The population only 150 people. The population of the island, of the special territory of the US Virgin Islands. Only around 100. But you know what? How many tourists coming in? 2,700,000. 27th. Higher. Times higher than the number of population. So there are so many countries in the world now, the number of tourists surpass, exceeding the number of the population of its own country. And Indonesia, with 280 million more or less, already mentioned by Pa Alex, the number of foreign tourists coming in around 13, right? 13, right? So can you imagine it? So there are a lot of homework that we have to do. Who is going to do that? Not solely the government, not solely Ministry of Tourism, but also more on you. And that is my best experience. And about Ethiopia and countries in Africa, there are so many new countries in Africa now to becoming the main destination of international tourists. Ethiopia, for instance. Ethiopia, very rich with the tourist destination. And the three main cores, this is, we can learn from them. The first, about the security. Security for the foreign tourists, that is very important. The security of the tourist destination, tourist site. The second is that infrastructure. This is very important, infrastructure. And the third is services. So there are at least three main lessons learned based on my experiences, assigned in overseas. So this is about actually a lot that I can tell friends, but I just limit to three main lessons learned that we can get from other countries overseas.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ambassador. So we can learn three key points from the other country. First is security for foreign tourists, and then infrastructures, and also the last one is services. All right, so, and then you always say that government cannot only move alone, but we have to work together as youth from government and maybe for the local communities as well. So I would like to ask from Mr. Alex's perspective, maybe you can tell us what are your hopes for youth entrepreneurs in transforming tourism into an ecosystem that protects culture while creating economic opportunity. Okay, so I would like to ask you, Mr. Ambassador said that before, we have to move together, we have to work together between government, young people, and also all the communities. And therefore, I would like to ask your opinion. What your hopes for youth entrepreneurs as young people as well in transforming tourism into an ecosystem that protects culture while creating economic opportunity as well?
Okay, we know that tourism is a business sectors, and I hope the young generation can be contribute to improve the environment and culture quality in your country. And I think if you improve your quality of environment and culture, we hope can be improve the welfare of society. I think is.
All right. Thank you so much. And next, I would like to hear from Mr. Ambassador perspective with the same question. Maybe what's your hopes for youth entrepreneurs out there as young people in transforming tourism into an ecosystem that protects our culture while also creating the economic opportunity as well?
Well, first about the economic opportunity. So I really strongly stress about the importance of the training to make the young people, young generations to have a skilled in tourism, right? Yes, there are now so many young people in Indonesia involved and working on the tourism sector, but I think they need more training on it, right? And if we talk about if I link it to the trading in economy, I think the role of the private sector is very important to increase the skill and the ability of our young people to generate the product. Because of what? We know, everybody knows that, because tourism, especially in the rural area, especially in the region, we have a huge potential, Indonesia and also African countries. But they don't know exactly properly how to marketing the local products.
Yes.
Local products. How to marketing and how to make the local products better and with the par equal with the international standard based on the taste of international tourists. That is, I think, that's very important.
All right, thank you so much for your insightful explanation, Mr. So yeah, since we have limited times, so maybe I would like to open the floor for questions from our participants. I am sure that many of you are inspired and would like to learn more directly from our panelists. So please, for those of you who would like to ask questions, raise your hand. Okay, I see the woman there. You can, yeah, please the committee for the microphone. Okay, please introduce your name and then please deliver your question.
Hi everyone, my name is Hadi. I am from the Gambia and I'm currently studying at Telkom University. Thank you so much to our speakers. My question is, we often hear people say youth are the future, but we're also, the reality. We're also the present, facing realities like inequality, unemployment. But I also believe young people across Africa and Asia are making change, are proving that we can lead change. We're doing this through innovation, entrepreneurship, or even the small projects we're doing. Yet, our voices are only heard in events like these, not in policy rooms. So I'd like to ask, in your expertise, how can our governments and private sectors actually turn symbolic participation to real decision-making power? Because I believe we don't only want inspiration, we want action as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, you like to your question answered by all the panelists or specific panelists? All the panelists?
All of them.
Okay, I would like to start from Mr. Ambassador first, maybe? Yeah.
Okay, so yes. Talking about the future, talking about the youth, we're always talking about what is the current problem of the future of the youth and their role in the future. How to encourage the government and the private sector to do the best to their own youth, at least for their own youth, not to mention regionally or in the global context, right? I think in my perception and in my mind, the communication between the government and the private sector should be encouraged, should be developed very well. Because of what? The communication meaning that they have to discuss, you have to meet regularly. And if the youth in that particular country felt that not enough, I think that youth organization, in organization or individually, you have to make your voice listened nationally, regionally, and internationally. Like, my dear friends, in many countries, the voice of youth very strong, including in Gambia, I believe, right? I visited once Gambia, beautiful country, small but beautiful, and a lot of tourists come to visit Gambia, especially from European countries, right? And again, make your voice to be listened by government and private sector. But don't forget, private sector will employ mostly only skilled people, skilled workers, skilled youth. Most. But don't forget, you have to remind them there are so many other youths in the countries, and many countries need training. Right? Listen carefully. The vast majority of companies in all over the world need skilled workers. While young people like you, my dear friend, especially graduates, they don't have experience enough. They need a training. Again, this is the role of government and private sector. They need the pipeline to communicate, to share about the opportunities, challenges, and things that they can do together. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Ambassador. And next, we'd like to hear from Mr. Alex perspective regarding the question.
Okay, I think young for the future. I think young must be adapt with the change of the world. You can give contribute to government through make a policy, and you can contribute to private sector. I think it's about innovation and creativation of the product you produce. I think it's the point is you must adapt with the change of the world now. I think it's.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Alex. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Alex for insightful explanation. And yeah, as we conclude the Tourism Chamber Expert Talk Show, let's take a moment to reflect. Tourism, as we know, is not only about destinations, it's about connection and also empowerment and purpose. It's about preserving culture while creating opportunity and about transforming local wisdom into global collaboration. What we've learned today shows that the future of tourism is in our hands, young people, the youth hands, and to make it more inclusive, sustainable, and also impactful across Asia and Africa. On behalf of the Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025, I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to our speakers, Mr. Alex and Mr. Ambassador, and for their inspiring contributions, and to all distinguished delegates for being part of this meaningful dialogue. And let's continue to collaborate, innovate, and also champion tourism that celebrates both people and the planet. Once again, thank you for joining the Tourism Chamber, and see you next session. Thank you very much. I would like give my time back to the MC.
Round of applause, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, for our moderator and also the speakers, Balkis Alfiatul Shifa, and our respected speakers. What an inspiring talks, and we really hope that starting from today, there will be more and more youth movement through more mediums to promote and broadcast every single values of their own countries. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, there will be second sessions of the talk show after the break and also the lunchtime. We now would like to invite the moderator and also the speakers to having the photo session on the stage. Kita akan ambil gambar terlebih dahulu. Mohon berkenan, moderator dan juga para pembicara, the moderator and also all the speakers, to joining the photo session on the stage. Teman-teman media ataupun juga fotografer yang bertugas, kami silakan untuk dapat mengambil gambar pada siang hari ini. Here's to show you, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the first sessions of the talk show. Tourism for the Future, that led by Ms. Balkis Alfiatul Shifa. Once again, big round of applause for the first session of our talk show today. Thank you. We'll see you after the break. You can also return to the hall at 1 p.m. because we will continue to invite you to joining the second session of the talk show
still live from Gedung Merdeka at Asia Africa Youth Forum 2025. I'm Diki Irdan, I'll see you after the break. Thank you.
Presented by Humas Kota Bandung.